And the Indiana Fever have pulled off the upset, the 6th seed, beating Vegas 89-73 to take game.
Basketball fans, brace yourselves. The Las Vegas Aces were expected to dominate. Instead, the Indiana Fever pulled off one of the most shocking playoff upsets in WNBA history. But what happened after the game has shaken the entire league because Aliyah Wilson, the MVP herself, accused the referees of foul play, claiming this game was bought. Was she right? Or was this just frustration boiling over after a stunning loss? No one believed in the Fever. They were missing 6 players, including Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Sydney Colson. Analysts gave them 0 chance. Yet, under coach Stephanie White, this patched-up roster shocked the world. Kelsey Mitchell erupted for 34 points, Aliyah Boston dominated inside, and the so-called hospital squad dismantled the reigning champs on their own floor.
Their matchup, Aces Fever, Game 1. We're not deciding the whole series right now, just Game 1.
Should we do it together?
I think we should do it together.
Okay.
Because my spidey sense are telling me they might be the same. 3, 2, 1.
Aces.
They're not going to lose after she just won MVP.
Yeah, period.
This was supposed to be Aliyah Wilson's coronation. On the very night she raised her MVP trophy, the Fever flipped the script. The headlines that were written for her glory turned into questions about the Aces' collapse. And that's when Wilson made her explosive post-game comments, sparking a firestorm that still hasn't cooled down.
Indiana Fever had no business winning a playoff series this year, had no business advancing to the semifinals for the first time in a decade, and yet here they are, eliminating the Atlanta Dream in Atlanta without Caitlin Clark, without Sophie Cunningham, without Sid Colson, without Erin McDonald, without Chloe Bibby. The hospital squad is on the bench, and yet the Indiana Fever are into the semifinals of the WNBA.
In the heat of the moment, Wilson blasted the officiating. She pointed to free throw discrepancies and claimed the referees had handed the game away. Her exact words? "This game was bought. We didn't get justice tonight." Fans erupted online, some supporting her frustration, others accusing her of disrespecting the Fever's effort.
And then the coaching of Stephanie White. She is working with a 9-woman rotation, and 5 of those players did not even touch the court the last time the Fever played the Dream during the regular season, and 3 of those players weren't even on the team. I cannot say it enough. The Indiana Fever should not be here. They continue to be here. They battle. They're resilient. It's wildly impressive. Caitlin Clark wore the black Air Force Ones again. They had one of those forces lifted in the air like a beacon of hope, and now they'll face the...
Wilson wasn't alone. Her coach, Becky Hammond, had already been fined $1,000 for ripping the officials. Even Fever coach Stephanie White was fined for the same. The entire series has been clouded by accusations of bias and inconsistent officiating. Was it incompetence or something deeper?
You actually just referenced it twice. It is Indiana. Dropped 2 of the 3 games to them this year, but you haven't seen them since late July. What excites you about that matchup?
That they haven't seen the releases yet. They caught us when we were at a bit in turmoil. Not only that, they whooped us one of those stretches. So, you know what? We'll buckle in, hone in where we can, and take care of business.
While the Aces complained, the Fever stayed quiet. Players like Kelsey Mitchell and Aliyah Boston only spoke about resilience and belief. And Caitlin Clark, sidelined but watching courtside, was seen rallying her teammates with one line that went viral: "Respect everyone. Fear no one." That contrast, excuses versus execution, may define this rivalry for years.
Respect everyone, fear no one. Woo! Sounds in a chat! That's one. Big time.
This isn't the first time Aliyah Wilson and the Aces have been accused of leaning on referees. Past playoff runs saw similar claims. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's arrival has shifted the league's spotlight. With stars like Sophie Cunningham, Lexie Hull, and Kelsey Mitchell rallying around her, the Fever aren't just an underdog anymore. They're building a culture of defiance.
Semi-final appearance. Just what's your emotional state right now?
Normal, I think. It's practice. Trying to prepare like anybody else would, like any other day. But keep the main thing.
So, was Wilson's outburst the truth, or just the sting of humiliation? If officiating was truly compromised, it's a stain on the WNBA's credibility. But if it was nothing more than frustration, then the Aces need to look inward. Because while they pointed fingers, the Indiana Fever made history.
Younger self.
Yeah.
How would you explain to her to make sure that you give yourself grace and give you the flowers that you so willingly deserve?
Ooh, I think the best thing I could have done was, I had a list. I had a long list. I wrote down a list of all the times I could have quit, been a pro, playing with the Indiana Fever. I wrote down all the people that wrote me off. I wrote it down on a list. I wrote down all the coaches that didn't want me around. I wrote down all the media outlet that didn't want to talk to me. I think that within itself is like, you got to tell your younger self not to give up on you. Because it's been a lot of times I could have given up when I know a lot of people that talk to me now weren't talking to me, and I know what it was like when they wasn't. So that part is big.
Fans, we want to hear from you. Was Aliyah Wilson right to call out the referees? Or did she cross the line by discrediting an all-time underdog win? Drop your thoughts below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more explosive WNBA investigations.
I'm keeping the pivot foot alive and going strong side for Wilson.
Mitchell this time finds a lane to the basket. Inside to Turner. Nice look from Mitchell, which follows 5 Eastern time on ESPN. Mitchell. Lot of arc on that and a couple of...
The WNBA playoffs were supposed to be a showcase of greatness, but instead, they've become the center of a storm. On the very night that MVP Aliyah Wilson was crowned as the face of the league, the Las Vegas Aces were humiliated, not just by the Indiana Fever, but by something Wilson herself claims was far darker. After the shocking loss, Aliyah didn't hold back, accusing referees of handing the game to Indiana. Her words were chilling. This game was bought. But was she right? Or was it frustration boiling over? Tonight, we uncover the explosive truth.
Done that. 5-point advantage for Indy. Trying to go inside. Terrific defense by Mitchell to deny Lloyd. It's Mitchell, guarded by Evans. Screen from Turner. Kelsey Mitchell knocks down another shot.
No one is accountable for Hull.
Mitchell, come on.
To understand this controversy, we need to rewind. Aliyah Wilson, the reigning MVP, has dominated the league for years, making the Aces the team to beat. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever, led by rising stars like Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aliyah Boston, have become the league's new disruptors. The clash wasn't just about basketball, it was about power, respect, and the future of the WNBA.
Who's going to step up, and how can the Aces find an edge?
Another good cut to the basket, this time by Turner.
The Las Vegas Aces are running out of time because the Indiana Fever making passes with... That's right.
Boston. Triple team, kicks it out. Kelsey Mitchell.
In Game 1, it wasn't Caitlin Clark stealing the spotlight. It was Kelsey Mitchell. Her 34 points weren't just historic, they broke records. It was the highest-scoring semifinal debut in WNBA history, and it came at Wilson's expense. Even Clark, sidelined by injury, called it unreal. But while Indiana celebrated, frustration was boiling on the other side.
Start on the defensive end. I mean, clearly we had no answer for Mitchell. Couldn't even attempt to slow her down a little bit. I thought it was really poor. Really.
Post-game, Aya Wilson stunned the sports world. Instead of crediting Mitchell, she accused the referees of foul play. Her words were blunt. This game was bought. Fans erupted, some agreeing, others slamming her for disrespect. Was Wilson simply venting? Or was there truth behind her anger?
We'll have that great steal to seal the win against Atlanta. Great start for Aliyah Boston.
Definitely the slasher.
Boston and Wilson, two former South Carolina players. Asia can't find the bottom of the net.
5'11". Odyssey Sims and Kelsey Mitchell 5'8".
Boston up, under, and in.
Really having her battle.
Asia.
This wasn't the first time Wilson clashed with referees or media narratives. Earlier in the season, she accused the league of bias, even suggesting that players like Caitlin Clark get superstar treatment. And fans haven't forgotten her heated 2023 interview, where she blasted critics for not respecting greatness. These repeated outbursts raise a bigger question: is Wilson exposing real corruption or creating drama to protect her legacy?
Efforts in us. So that's got to change this second half.
Coach, you're shooting under 40 from the field, about 7.
Get about it.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach Hammond. And let's go over now to Angel Gray. For Asia. Spins, counters, doesn't get the bounce.
I am just so impressed.
Wow, Boston just faked Wilson out of her.
Let's dig deeper. Statistically, Indiana dominated where Vegas was expected to win, the paint. They outscored the Aces 50-38 inside. Aliyah Boston neutralized Wilson's rhythm, forcing her into late clock shots. Meanwhile, Lexie Hull shut down Jackie Young, and Odyssey Sims tore the Vegas defense apart. Was this really about referees? Or did the Fever simply outplay the champs?
Lexie Hull had that great steal to seal the win against Atlanta. A great start for Aliyah Boston.
The WNBA has been fueled by rivalries. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. Old stars versus new stars. Now we're seeing another narrative. Wilson versus the system. Her comments about the game being bought add fuel to a growing belief that media and referees are shaping the league's storylines. But one thing is clear, this loss may have shifted the balance of power in the WNBA.